With the announcement of Yooka Laylee, I've got Yooka Laylee and Playtonic on the mind, so I figured now is as good a time as ever to dive deep into this game and explore the creative, bizarre, and mysterious world of Yooka Laylee. That's right, mysterious. Grab your googly eyes, because we're going to be taking a look at the mysteries of Yooka Laylee. The Ghost Riders. These are the original writers of the Grand Tomes. There are 5 distinct ghosts: Normie, the yellow one; Angry, the red one; Evie, the green one; Heidi, the blue one; and Feedy, the pink one. These ghosts have suffered a mysterious fate and been cursed to wander their own creations until set free, which evidently we're doing. My question is, are these the same ghosts in every tome? Are there 5 ghosts in each level totaling 25? Or are there 5 ghosts that somehow get from one tome to the next? I'm aware that other characters can show up in multiple worlds, however these ghosts say they're trapped and we free them, only for them to show up in the next world. I like to think that the ghosts in each level are just a piece of the original ghost, so each level holds one piece of the whole, and once all the pieces have been freed, the Ghost Rider is whole again. It's also convenient we have 5 different colored Grand Tomes. The Pirate Treasure. In each of the Grand Tomes, we can find a singular crystal-like skull. These skulls look super fancy and significant. Surely you get something for collecting them all, right? The answer? No, not really. You can get an achievement, but other than that, they seemingly have no significance. They seem to be a nod to Banjo-Kazooie's Stop and Swap, which, you know, is cool, but I can't help feel we needed a reward for it. Maybe the purpose of these skulls hasn't been figured out yet. Perhaps these are the skulls of the Ghost Riders. Playtonic, please let me know if that's the case. Connected universes? I love the interconnecting of classic games. Rare was known for including Easter eggs and callbacks. Watch my Mapping the Rare Universe video if you haven't. And Playtonic also seems to have a thing for it. The first main connection is Shovel Knight. He seems to have wandered his way into Yooka Laylee, as we can interact with him once we have expanded Tribalstack Tropics. Another cameo happens in the game Clive and Wrench, where we can see a familiar snake show up. How are these universes connected? Are they one big one? Is it some sort of indie game verse? I actually have a different theory. Since each tome is its own world and ecosystem, I think these other worlds are other tomes. Who knows, we could see Yooka and Laylee show up in some crazy places in the future. Who are Vile? In the beginning stages of the game, Capital B is seen getting a video call from his bosses, aka the board of the company he's CEO at. These folks are known as Vile. We unfortunately don't know too much about them other than they are the ones truly behind everything. What's their goal? It appears to get the one book to rewrite reality. It's actually something they've been trying to do for a while. It's all evident with the tonics. These creations can do so many different things, from increasing your stamina to straight up changing the look of the world. So why are they so bent on changing reality? I think we need to look at who I believe is the chairman of the board. Vendy. Vendy is literally evil. There may be more than one Vendy, but we do know that she produces the reality warping tonics, and on her bandana is none other than the play coins for Rexstro's arcade. I believe Vendy is actually trying to fix Rexstro's memory issues and bring him up to modern times so he can always remember her. It's really a love story between these two. So maybe Vendy isn't evil, but Vendy's in love emotionally. Maybe I got sidetracked and created my own narrative. But still, what if Vile is Vendy? That'd be wild. Quills for currency? Every 3D platformer requires some sort of secondary collectible that's plentiful in the world. Mario gets coins, Sonic has rings, and Yooka and Laylee get quills. These quills are golden in color, with the exception of coming in a few other variants in the Rexstro arcade games. These quills are used like currency for Trowser, where you can buy new moves. But it makes me wonder, why are these currency? What use for the quills would Trowser have? I mean, he doesn't have hands, so he can't write? Do the quills have magic properties like the pages? Were they used to pen the Grand Tomes? If they have so much power, it's clear why he'd want them, and we just hand them over. Dr. Puzz. Dr. Puzz is a scientist formerly of the Quack Corporation before all her research was stolen by Dr. Quack. She is the one who transforms Yooka and Laylee into different forms throughout the worlds. She herself has been affected by the DNA ray and transformed, but I've always wondered, what side was her original? The human half or the octopus half? Well, according to a bit in the Impossible Lair, her octopus half is actually her original form. So that answers that. But now the real question is that Banjo's goldfish in her bowl? Royston? Is that you? Icy Metric Palace. The Icy Metric Palace is a clever name given to the frozen castle in Glitterglaze Glacier. Upon unlocking the ice keys by expanding the world, a fun nod to Banjo-Kazooie's Stop and Swap, you can enter into the palace. It's large with tons of rooms. Has anyone thought about who owns this palace? Who does it belong to? We fight Breezeblock inside, but since he's in the boiler and shut it down, clearly this ain't his place. Who really owns it is a mystery. Except for this one sign in a specific area that tells us if we get lost to give her a shout. Dory X. I believe whoever this Dory X is the owner of the palace. Moodymaze Marsh transformation. Okay, so this transformation is something I've always been curious about. We transform into a school of fish. Yes, not one fish, but a school of them. Does this mean that the consciousness of Yooka and Laylee are distributed into the accordingly colored fish? What would happen if one fish died? Would they then lose a part of who they are? Could individual fish swim off and still retain their consciousness? If all die except one and it transforms back, would it still be Yooka? I like to think it makes him smaller if he were to lose one. So, I'm gonna go with that, because it's a lot less dark. Outside of the tomes. I noticed when approaching all of the tomes, the area in Hivory Towers is converted from its normal modern business look to a look resembling the world we are about to enter. I'm wondering if this means that these tomes occasionally regurgitate content and things from inside them to the outside world. Take Capital Cashino for example. We get tons of random casino-related things scattered throughout the area leading up to the tomes, and none of it's laid out in a way to suggest decoration, but more random placements. It's possible Capital B is bringing them inside into the tomes to create this world, but at the same time, other tomes experience the same thing. I think these tomes do let things out, as when people approach them, they automatically open. This gives an opportunity for it. I mean, if things can go in like Yooka, why can't they come out like Yooka? Pages can escape cages? Although it just kind of seems like a joke, the fact the Pagey in Galleon Galaxy just slips through the bars is a mystery. Based on our previous experience in Tribalstack, this Pagey couldn't do it. Was he lying? Well, the Pagey in Galleon Galaxy explains to us we have to understand it's very comfortable in those cages. So yes, the whole time the cages meant nothing and they could have escaped. What the f***? Well, that's all I have for you. Be sure to drop a like if you're excited for Laylee, and let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more. Until next time, have a good one. Jiggylookback!